In this video, you'll learn the 3 skills, just 3, that have allowed me to create 2 7-figure businesses while working only about 20 hours per week. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell button to be notified when new videos come out. Now, the beauty of running an online business is that you don't have to be physically present to make money. As a result, a lot of online entrepreneurs are able to create highly scalable businesses from anywhere they want. In fact, leveraging the internet is how I'm able to run a blog, an e-commerce store, a podcast, a YouTube channel, and an online course and an e-commerce conference working about 20 hours per week. I also run all these businesses with very little help. In total, I have one trusted assistant who handles my podcast and video editing, and outside of my wife, who runs the day-to-day for our e-commerce store, I'm pretty much a solo entrepreneur. Now, I'm not saying that that's necessarily a good thing, and most successful entrepreneurs often frown upon not outsourcing a good portion of their work. But my intention when starting my businesses was never to run a large team. And when I hear stories from other entrepreneurs about not being able to make money on vacation without a strong support staff, I can say based on experience that this is totally false. The last time I went on vacation, I made enough money relaxing in Hawaii that I could have paid for my entire trip tenfold. Anyway, the reason that I can get by with so few resources is because I've learned a set of basic skills over the years that make me a much more efficient entrepreneur. So here are the things that allow me to do what I do. Number 1, I learned Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is by far the tool that I use the most often on a day-to-day basis. Why? Because if you think about it, everything online is predicated on the use of images. Every blog post I publish uses multiple images. Instagram requires images. Any sales page or promo offer requires images. Facebook advertising requires images. If you do not know how to manipulate photos, you cannot succeed online. Period. Now, images are even more crucial when running an e-commerce store because your photos often mean the difference between a sale and an abandoned shopping cart. Of course, you can outsource all of your image processing, and a lot of entrepreneurs do this successfully. But running an online business is infinitely easier when you know how to quickly process your own photos. I also rely heavily on Photoshop as part of my outreach strategy, and often whip out special images in order to make myself memorable to the new people that I meet. So for example, I don't think Pat Flynn will ever forget this super awesome cover that I designed for his latest book, Will It Fly? Erin Chase of $5 Dinners will always remember my depiction of her sitting on the Iron Throne of Westeros. And I don't think that my friends over at Simple Green Smoothies will ever forget how I caught one of their founders drinking a blended caramel ribbon crunch cream frappuccino macchiato. In any case, if Adobe Photoshop is too intimidating for you, there are actually other tools available online that are much easier to use but have far fewer features. So for example, Canva and PicMonkey are great tools for doing basic editing, cropping, or adding text to your own images. But whatever you decide to do, make sure you learn how to use at least one of these tools. Skill number 2, I learned basic HTML and CSS. Now, most people who completely outsource their website design to a third party inevitably find themselves heavily dependent on their web developer. So for example, just the other day, I had a reader frantically email me because her store just went live and she could not figure out how to add an extra hyperlink to her front page banner. I had another reader practically beg me to take a look at her site because her web developer introduced a pretty major bug on her cart but stopped answering her emails. I've even had colleagues make fun of me by asking me why I bother wasting my time learning basic web skills when I could contract everything out and focus on the sales and marketing process. But here's the thing, if you are basing your entire livelihood on your website, shouldn't you at least learn the basics of the technology behind your business? Now, don't get me wrong, I've contracted out entire website designs to developers before, but I always make sure that I fully understand what they are doing. And this extra knowledge has paid off big time over the years. For example, I've been hacked a couple of times in my day, and I was able to recover even though my web designer was unavailable. I am able to make minute tweaks to my site instantly without having to wait for help. And overall, it's amazing how much more productive you can be if you just sit down and learn a couple of basic skills. Now, you don't have to become an expert. Just learn the basics, and it will also help you become a better employer and better outsourcer. Skill number 3, I learned how to communicate my ideas. Now, originally, this last skill was going to be about learning how to write effectively, but in this day and age, there are just so many different ways to express yourself online. And it doesn't really matter what medium you choose. You just have to do one thing well. Now, if you're good at writing, then start a blog. If you are great on camera, start pumping out YouTube videos or use TikTok. If you have a great voice, but you're shy on camera, then start a podcast. The key to being successful at any online business is to put yourself out there and start a following. Because throwing a bunch of random products on a website is just not going to cut it in today's day and age. Now, if you can get people to like who you are, then the sales will start rolling in regardless of how much competition is out there. My blog is the perfect example of this. Do you know how many make money blogs are out there today? I would guess thousands, if not tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands. Same goes with this YouTube channel. Do you know how many make money videos there are? I would guess millions. But the competition doesn't matter because I've attracted a loyal audience, and I thank you guys for that, by the way. With my e-commerce store, we are constantly bombarded by new competitors entering our space. But we've established enough loyal business-to-business customers that we can make a living off of these customers alone. Now, the secret to long-term success for any business is to gain mindshare and to establish a deeper connection with as many customers as possible. So what is the most effective way to do this? The best way is to focus on one medium, understand how it works, master it, and then repurpose your content across as many platforms as possible. In fact, this is one of my goals in the coming years. Right now, I put out one blog post, one YouTube video, and one podcast episode per week, but I'm currently doing a poor job of syndicating my content. Instead, what I could be doing is taking YouTube videos, breaking it up, and posting it on multiple TikToks. I could also take that same YouTube video, get it transcribed and edited, and publish it as a standalone blog post. I could also take the audio and turn it into a podcast. Now, with the one article that I write every week, I could be turning that into a Facebook Live presentation. I could also repurpose my tweets and turn it into a blog post and a podcast episode. Anyway, you get the point. There are many opportunities for syndication where you only have to produce one piece of content and spread it everywhere. But content is where the magic starts. So overall, these are the 3 skills that I rely on for all of my businesses. And while I don't necessarily advocate the path of solo entrepreneurship, I do urge you to pick up some of these skills on your own because they will greatly improve your chances for success. After all, there's nothing wrong with outsourcing different parts of your business as long as you have redundancy. But oftentimes, as a small business owner, you need to be the jack of all trades in the beginning to grow as quickly as possible. Good luck with your business.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Now, if you like what you saw, there's actually a lot more where that came from if you subscribe to my channel below. And if you are interested in learning how to sell physical products online, then click over here and take my free 6-day mini course where I'll walk you through everything that you need to know to get started in e-commerce. Thanks for watching.